Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, FPL Consult here, and today we're going to take a look at my Game Week 15 team selection. So as usual, we're going to go through how I did for Game Week 14 and then take a look at some of my transfer plans going into Game Week 15. Now this is a tight turnaround. It will be a midweek deadline for Game Week 15. So that's why this video will be a combination of the usual transfer plans video as well as the team selection video. So hopefully you guys are able to follow this one and it's useful for you. If you do enjoy it, please give it a like and also subscribe as well if you are new around here. And of course, once again, shouting out our Christmas charity drive just above me. We are quite close to the target of £100 already. We've raised about £70 as of now. So I'll be donating 20 pence per new subscriber from now to Christmas. All you have to do is subscribe and you will be contributing to the cause. So thank you for all the support so far. Let's get on with the video. So for Game Week 14, this was how I did. A green arrow. So after successive red arrows, I think I've had red arrows for the past 3 game weeks already. I'm very happy to have a green arrow now. 831k in the world. Once again, not where I want to be at this point, but I'll take the green arrow. I'm hoping to push and break into the top maybe 500k and start to move into the top 100k, which is the overall aim for the season. Right, so I've currently got 63 points in Game Week 14. Which is slightly above the average of 54 points. So that's why I got a green arrow here. I'm pretty happy with some of the decisions I've made and also not happy with others that I've also made. So talking about the team, the scores that I've gotten first. Areola got 2 points. So again, very frustrating. He didn't manage to keep a clean sheet against Crystal Palace. A keeper transfer is very likely for me. Not this game week, but at least on the horizon. I would probably make a keeper transfer. There are quite a number of keepers coming up as decent options. Dubravka, if Pope is out for quite a while, is a decent one at 3.9. Raya and Sanchez are the obvious ones that we've already talked about for quite a while now. So if I do want to make a keeper transfer, it will likely be Turner out. I would still keep Areola. I got him quite cheap still, so I don't see any reason to sell him. So if I do make a keeper transfer, I will be selling Turner. Talking about the defense for this week in Game Week 14, 10 points for Taylor is an absolute legend. When I need him, he's come through 10 points. 4 points for Tsimikas for that dodgy assist as well. I'll take it. And then Medicash 1 point. So for my defense, I was largely losing out to a lot of the guys or the managers who had double Arsenal defense. So when that was wiped out, I think in general it kind of helped my team a little bit or my rank a little bit, because those Arsenal defenders were quite highly owned and will rank killers for me. So Livramento on the bench with 7 points is slightly disappointing because I could have started him ahead of Medicash. I took the chance that Cash would start. In the end, he only came on for a cameo towards the end of the game, so he blocked Livramento as well. So not great there, but I won't complain. On the balance of things, Livramento did have a slightly tougher fixture. But yeah, I mean, in general, I do know that the Newcastle defense are a good defense. Livramento has looked really sharp as well, so I'm quite glad I have him in my team. He looks to be set as the first choice left back for now. So I think I don't see any pressing reason for me to sell him anytime soon, especially since he has Everton next week. So I know some people are actually thinking of bringing in Livramento, right? So we'll discuss him later on. In midfield, 5 points for Mbeumo. Slightly disappointing. I expected him to do more against Luton. 5 points for Salah as well for the assist. 10 points for Son. Now, Son is a player that I initially would not have had if Bowen or Watkins were fit. But the thing is, because both, at the end, Bowen and Watkins both played, right? But they were my transfers out. So, I mean, FPL just works like that sometimes. But because they were doubts, I transferred both of them out and I kept Son instead, which was not part of the initial plan. And of course, Son comes through against City with 10 points. So incredible there. Thinking about it right now, I think I'm quite lucky to have kept on to Son. Right, because moving forward, his points predictions are really good. I think Spurs, you can confirm right now that having lost Maddison, they still look like a very decent attacking side. So I'm quite glad that I managed to hold on to Son and I made those 2 transfers. Adingra here, 2 points, not great. I've had him for quite a while. I think I may have to sell him soon. But he does have Burnley in game week 16, so that does play into my mind a little bit. And then Saka with 8 points, scored against Wolves. So there was talk about how his goal involvement wasn't as good, etc. But of course, he comes away again with another return. So he's returned quite consistently this season. I don't see any other attacker that will be the default Arsenal attacker. So honestly, even though his numbers have not been excellent, I do think like Saka is still the default best Arsenal attacker to go for. Up front, Haaland captain, he could have got sent off towards the end because of the, I guess, verbal, tirade that he gave to the official, because there was quite a contentious point towards the end where he could have gotten a third assist if Grealish was set free, and the referee didn't call the playback for a foul. But what happened has happened, and in the end, he only got 7 points. So compared to the Salah captainers, it's just a 2 point gain, so that's alright. I was hoping that Haaland would score more, but I'm still happy with his returns. And then Darwin Núñez, 2 points. I sold Ollie Watkins for him. Would I reverse the move if I had the chance to? I think I would. I still think like Ollie Watkins is a really good option. It's just that with the information that I had at that point in time, I wasn't sure that Watkins would start. Darwin Núñez was going to play Fulham. He has Sheffield coming up. He may miss that one out. He has Sheffield coming up. After that is Crystal Palace as well. The fixtures are decent for him. And I do have plans to move him on to maybe one of Isak or potentially back to Watkins come game week 18, which is the blank game week where Liverpool will face Arsenal. So this is how the team is looking like. I don't think there are many pressing issues for my team, so let's take a look at the team selection for Game Week 15 and then discuss some of these transfer plans. So this is how my team is looking like. I haven't made any transfers yet. I have one free transfer and 1.4 million in the bench. For the time being, I've lined it up in a 3-5-2, but that could change depending on my transfers. So I have Areola in goal for now, once again playing Spurs away, and West Ham just haven't been keeping a lot of clean sheets. There's every chance that I think Areola concedes in this one, but I don't think a keeper transfer is necessary for my team this week. I think there is a slightly more or higher upside move that I can make, which I'll discuss in a little bit. In defense, it's Guehi, Livramento, and Tsimikas. All of them have decent fixtures. Bournemouth for Guehi, Everton away for Livramento, and Sheffield away for Tsimikas. Now, of course, Livramento could get benched for Lewis Hall, maybe, depending on whether Eddie Howe thinks he needs a rest, so there's a bit of doubt there. For Tsimikas, maybe he comes off for a rest as well midweek and then Gomez starts in his place. We don't really know that yet, but I think for the time being, I'm happy to start both of them. I would probably take the chance with them, right? So that's where I'm at this point for Livramento and Tsimikas. In midfield, it's Mbeumo, Salah, Son, Adingra, and Saka. So for the majority of them, for 4 of them, I think I'm fine. Mbeumo, Salah, Son, and Saka. I think they're alright picks as well. Adingra is the one that I'm a little bit more concerned about because his numbers have been dropping and he hasn't been performing as well. The only thing is that he's at least more nailed than Mitoma, it seems, because Mitoma has gotten a couple of benchings, maybe because of fatigue, etc. in the past that he's complained about. But Adingra just seems to be starting every single game. So at 5 million, maybe I keep him because he has Burnley in game week 16 and then I can sell him later on. So the other option for me as well is to sell Adingra now and go elsewhere. I have 1.4 in the bank. I can afford Gordon, I can afford Palmer, but both of them currently have their own issues. So Gordon, which is actually the player that I prefer over Palmer, is currently nursing a little bit of a muscle injury, so he's flagged at the moment. We probably wouldn't hear from Eddie Howe yet, so maybe I don't move Adingra to Gordon yet. As for Palmer, as I've said, I prefer Gordon. And I think like Palmer is a player that could see a role change when Nkunku comes back into the team. I think there's a little bit more of a doubt there. But as for Gordon, I know what I'm getting, and I feel like in the attacking sense, I still feel Newcastle is a better attacking outfit than Chelsea. So that's why I think I'll wait out on that move and maybe move Adingra to Gordon later on after game week 16 where he has Burnley. Right, wait for him to play that game and then move him on. The other option that I have is Matty Cash on the bench. So for Matty Cash, I could move him on to other players like Pedro Porro or Reece James. So I will discuss this in the next section where we're doing the transfer tinkering. But if I do that, I can just bench Adingra and play either one of those players that I bring in, whether it's Reece James, whether it is Pedro Porro, and then I'll start them this week. And that allows me to keep Adingra and just start with a decent team as well. So currently, that's my thinking. I'm probably going to either sell Adingra or Matty Cash. For now, it's likely going to be Matty Cash. Up front, I have Haaland and Darwin. Darwin, of course, is a little bit of a doubt. He may be benched against Sheffield. I hope he starts. I hope he gets more minutes at least. because Sheffield just have been defending so poorly. So hopefully Darwin Núñez will get something there, because he didn't get anything against Fulham. So it's already a 9-point swing selling Watkins for Darwin. Right, for captaincy wise, I currently have it on Mohamed Salah. Once again, Sheffield United just terrible in defense right now. Burnley just put 5 past them, so I do feel like Liverpool is in for kind of a thumping to score a lot of goals against Sheffield. So Saka is the vice captain for now. I don't think I would be as tempted to captain Haaland as of now. I mean, that could change as we get along to the deadline stream. I do understand that Aston Villa have been playing such a high line. There's every chance that Haaland could do well there as well. But Salah against Sheffield, I think this week is one where we're going to see quite a number of captaincy split, right? Because Salah, Saka, and Haaland are all decent options, and there's every narrative to go for each one of them. So I think it's kind of like the game week 14 decision where Salah against Fulham and Haaland versus Spurs, it was tight as well. I think this week will be equally as tight, but it probably be split between Salah, Saka, and Haaland. So for now, I got it on Salah. And let's now take a look at some of the potential transfer moves, as I've mentioned, and then see how the team is shaping up. And I'll share with you guys what I'm most likely going to do. So this is my team on the Fantasy Football Hub transfer planner, exactly as shown in the graphic just now. I don't think we will hear from Eddie Howe before the Game Week 15 deadline. If we do, then I can just move Adingra to Anthony Gordon, but I don't think we will get conclusive news on that. So because of that, I would probably just hold on to Adingra and just bench him this week, play him in Game Week 16 for his Burnley game, and then sell him after that, where we will get conclusive news on whether Anthony Gordon is fit or not. So for the time being, I'll have to bench him. Alright, and if I bench Adingra, of course, I have to play someone else, and the player that I'm most likely to sell is Matty Cash. So I think Matty Cash has just been a terrible signing for my team. I brought him in Game Week 8. He's probably only scored, I think, 13 points in 6 to 7 game weeks, so it's really bad. I was expecting a lot more from him, but I think it's time to say goodbye to Matty Cash. The player that I prefer to bring in for Matty Cash is actually Pedro Porro. The reason why I prefer Pedro Porro to Reece James is not only that Pedro Porro has a better injury record. Obviously, Reece James is so injury prone. Pedro Porro has started every single game for Spurs. They will have defenders coming back as well, like Romero will be coming back from suspension. We already saw Udogie is back in the team as well. When their first team defense is playing, I think there are quite a number of clean sheets in store for them when we look at the run that they have coming up. West Ham at home, Newcastle at home isn't easy in Game Week 16, but then they have Forest, Everton, and Bournemouth in the next 4. So I definitely think that with their first team defenders coming back, they can keep clean sheets there. And of course, Pedro Porro does not only rely on clean sheets for his points, he also is very attacking. He's on majority of the set pieces, and also he's in open play. He's very, very advanced. So I do like it. He's actually hit the post a couple of times in the past few game weeks as well. So quite unlucky to not get returns there. If I jump on him now, I do think like I will be slightly ahead of the curve here. And I do have to go slightly different here if I want to kind of make up rank moving forward. So Pedro Porro is a player that I think I'm quite keen to bring in. The only other player that I can see myself bringing in for Matty Cash is Reece James, but as I mentioned, he's slightly more of a risk. There's always a chance he may be managed and he could be taken off in maybe 60 to 70 minutes, but we always know that Pedro Porro will get probably the full game, right? And for Reece James, attackingly, I think when I compare the two, I do think like both of them are pretty attacking. The numbers are quite similar as well. Of course, Reece James has only played a couple of minutes in this season, in the 23-24 season, but the thing is he's already racked up quite a number of goal involvements. So Reece James, I don't deny that he's just a really, really good attacking asset, and Chelsea's fixtures are quite good moving forward as well. If you look at the run from Game Week 16 all the way until Game Week 21 here, and it actually stretches even further, but the graphic here by Fantasy Football Hub just shows up to Game Week 21. It's incredible fixtures. It's Everton, Sheffield, Wolves, Crystal Palace, Luton, and Fulham. So let me know what you guys would do. I'm quite keen on selling Matty Cash, but it just depends on whether I sell him for Porro or Reece James. For now, I'm on Pedro Porro, and if that's the case, if I do make that move, my team will probably look like this. So Areola in goal, Tsimikas, Guehi, Livramento, and Porro. Son, Salah, Saka, and Mbeumo as the midfielders. Up front, it's Haaland and Darwin Núñez. So let me know what you guys think. And I'll, of course, we'll catch you guys in the Game Week 15 deadline stream, because this week it is a midweek deadline. So do bear in mind, do make your transfers as well. We will get a couple of press conferences. We hear from some managers, but I don't think we will hear from all of them. So we will have to make some of our decisions in the dark. And hopefully they will pay off. So for now, I'm on Pedro Porro. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys would do in my position, and what you guys are doing with your teams as well, down in the comments below. But if not, I'll catch you guys on the Game Week 15 deadline stream tomorrow, 3 hours before the deadline. Bye bye.